Hi everybody, what's up? Katie here with Rouse Rising. I appreciate you guys joining me today. I have a few recipes that I want to go over with you real quickly before the holidays creep up on us, and they are right around the corner, so you really don't have that much time to get started, so you need to do this now. You need to go to the store today. You need to start now. One of the first things I'm going to show you is my honey fermented cranberry sauce. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the recipe, the method now. It is so simple though. What I ended up doing was adding even more cranberries to a bigger jar than what I have in my how-to video that I'll be showing you in just a minute. But I just wanted to let you see this. This is after about 4 days. So what I did was I pricked holes in all of the cranberries with a fork, and my children helped me do this. It's a great task for kids to do. And then I placed them into a jar and I poured honey over top. Now, some of the cranberries have risen to the top, so I'm just gonna work on getting those pressed back down. And as you can see in this jar, there is now juice. It's rather liquidy at the moment because the cranberries have emitted some of their juice into the honey mixture. And then, yeah, now it's become like a cranberry honey juice in there. Getting that jar filled up quickly.
I did it.
Yeah, that's okay. Just drop it in there. Many hands make light work. Hi. Hello.
Keep cutting them.
These are glass weights used for fermenting. This is a mason top fermenting lid, and then I just put that on there. And that's going to release the gas that's produced. And every day I'm going to come along, I'm going to push my glass weight and push the cranberries down into the honey and make sure that they are all the way submerged. It is November 1st, and I'm going to leave this until Thanksgiving Day, and then I'm going to keep pushing the glass weight down every day, keeping the cranberries submerged, and then on Thanksgiving Day we are going to blend it up with an immersion blender. I'll probably remove some of the liquid and then blend up the cranberries with about half of the liquid that is going to be in there. So anyways, what you do is you just put clean pricked cranberries into the jar and cover them with honey. I use these glass weights, and I'll put a link below to these in the description of this video. So I just plop a glass weight in there, and with clean hands, I just make sure that I push down all the cranberries so that they're submerged below the liquid. Now, some are back up at the top, and that's okay. You can also just put a lid on the jar and turn the jar every single day to make sure that your cranberries are getting coated with the honey mixture every day. So you don't really want oxygen getting to the cranberries, but if that happens a little bit, it's okay. Every single day I am pressing the cranberries down into the jar. And then this right here is a mason top airlock, and these things are really great. It's made out of silicone, and I just place that onto my jar with a wide mouth metal lid. I can close up my jar with that, but first I'm going to wipe off around the edges because it's a bit sticky. Now, the goal is to let this sit for about 6 weeks. I don't know that we have that much time, so it's going to sit until Thanksgiving as it ferments. And then on Thanksgiving Day, or maybe a day or two before Thanksgiving, what I'll do is I will put the amount that I want to use into a wide mouth quart jar like this, an immersion blender, in my wide mouth quart jar just to pulse the cranberries up. And if you look on my Instagram page, linked below in this video's description, you will find, if you scroll down, you will find a video of me pulsing fermented cranberries. To recap, to make honey fermented cranberry sauce, you prick fresh cranberries and put them into a jar, and then you cover them with honey, making sure to press them down to keep them below the level of the honey. Likewise, you can put a lid onto the jar, and every single day you can flip the jar and flip it back over. You do want to make sure that any gas that is created from the fermenting process is released. Otherwise, you'll have a jar that explodes. And you do not want exploded cranberry honey juice all over your house. Trust me. Okay, so first item is down, the honey fermented cranberries. Oh yeah. Then after about 6 weeks of fermenting in the honey, you want to pulse them. But if you just have like a couple weeks like we do, it'll be fine. It'll still taste delicious. You want to pulse them in your blender or pulse them in your food processor and get the consistency that you and your family will love for your turkey topping or whatever you put your cranberry sauce on. We end up eating it for weeks afterwards, and then we end up using it at Christmas time as well. It is delicious with all of the Christmas food. You can add a cinnamon stick to this as well. Just be sure that you remove the cinnamon stick before you blend the cranberries. Otherwise, you'll have chunks of hard cinnamon stick, and that's not very tasty. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can make a spiced cranberry sauce, or you can just make a plain honey fermented cranberry sauce, and that's what we're going to be doing. Okay. The next thing I want to show you, because I'm almost out of my homemade vanilla extract, so I just wanted to show you guys real quickly how we're going to make that again. I have Madagascar vanilla beans that I got from a friend that did a bulk order of these. So you just take a vanilla bean, and I'm actually going to break this one into a few pieces, and I'll pull them out. But I'm just going to break my vanilla bean into my jar, and I'm going to use 2 vanilla beans. And then I'm going to top it with vodka. Now I don't have very much of this left because I use this for other tinctures as well. I made some elderberry tinctures, and so I'm running really low. You do not want to use an alcohol product that is greater than 80 proof. It's just too strong. So this one is 80 proof, and it's what I use for all of my tinctures and my vanilla mixtures. Well, I didn't have enough vodka to fill up my jar, so I'm going to add this to a smaller jar. And it fit perfect. And just swish that around in there, get that last bit of vanilla seeds in there. Poor planning on my part. I didn't have all the ingredients in the amount that I desired to do this process, but live and learn. We're just doing the best we can. I can't take my kids into a liquor store, so this is what we get. And I'm going to pressure cook this for 60 minutes. I have added 2 cups of water to my Instant Pot, and I put the rack in. Next, I'm going to place my vodka and vanilla beans into my Instant Pot. I'm going to close it up. I'm going to hit manual, make sure it's on high pressure, and then I'm going to take the minutes all the way up to 60 minutes. After the 60 minutes, I'm just going to let this naturally release pressure. I will take my vodka vanilla extract out and let it cool completely. Okay, the air pressure is all released out of here. I just wanted to show you guys what this looks like. It is a nice amber color. Now it's super, super hot. There we go. I've got vanilla extract. I'm just going to leave this to sit until I'm done with all the other vanilla extract that I have. I just wanted to talk really briefly about some other recipes, and I'm just going to link them above. One thing I like to do is make fermented sauerkraut, and this is my fermented purple sauerkraut recipe. And what I do is I take a head of cabbage and I slice it very thinly, or I use a food processor to slice it thinly. I sprinkle it with salt, and then I mash it up with my hands really, really good. And after about 20 minutes, the juices start to release from the cabbage, and I'm able to put it into a jar and pack it down really well. You want to pack it so that all the juices are coming out so that the juice covers the cabbage. The salt naturally draws out the juices from the cabbage. If your cabbage does not produce enough juice to cover all of the cabbage and a little bit of brine, because you do not want any of the cabbage to surface, you can make a brine of your own using 1 tablespoon of salt per 2 cups of water. And then you just want to pour enough in there to cover the cabbage. I use these sour stones. These are the same things that I'm using on my cranberries to keep them submerged. I'll link these down below and you can check those out too if you want them. So what you end up doing is you shred your cabbage, you pour a little bit of brine in on top to keep it covered, and then you're going to drop one of these on. And what I like to do is I save one of the big cabbage leaves and I press the cabbage down with that cabbage leaf, and then I put the sour stone on top. Then you're going to cover it with your Mason Tops airlock and screw a lid on. You're going to want to let that sit in a cool, dark place in a cabinet somewhere away from the heat. And you're going to allow that to ferment for about 2 weeks. It's anywhere from 7 to 14 days. You can taste it periodically to see if it's gotten the tanginess and the tartness that you prefer. Again, it can take anywhere between 7 and 14 days for your sauerkraut to ferment. It will last literally forever. This is sauerkraut that I made last Thanksgiving and it's still good. To prove it, I will eat some. So I made this sauerkraut last year and it's been sitting in my refrigerator ever since. And we use a little bit of it a couple times a week. It's really good. I forgot to mention, in the recipe above, it will say that you can use caraway seeds in the recipe. It really makes a delicious sauerkraut. I highly recommend doing that. I've just been keeping them covered with saran wrap in my refrigerator because I needed my airlocks for other things, but you can keep it with saran wrap on it or you can keep the airlock on it with the lid. Totally fine. Also, what you can go ahead and do is you can make ahead all your sourdough loaves so that you're not baking during the holiday rush. I like to bake 6 loaves at a time, and I'll link the recipe above, and then you guys can check that out. Making sourdough is actually really easy. It seems like a really long process, but it's a relatively easy process, and it's one that you can do. I've done it with all my kids. I bake every single week 6 loaves of sourdough for my family, and you can do it too. And it freezes great. This is my frozen loaf of sourdough. I just stick it in a Ziploc bag and remove as much air as I can, and then pop it in the freezer. Then you have sourdough bread ready for your Thanksgiving dinner, and it's a lot easier on your body to digest. The benefits of having sauerkraut and fermented cranberry sauce are really great. Both have enzymes and probiotics that are going to help your body digest the foods and all the goodies that you eat over the holidays. So be sure to include ferments in your diet every week, every day if you can, but especially over the holidays when we're consuming so much food. It's really hard on our bodies to digest all of that. So we want to make sure that our gut and our microbiome within our body is able to support all the goodies that we eat so that we can digest it the best that we can and get all the nutrients from all that delicious food. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I know this was a really quick video, but I just wanted to make sure this was a really quick video, and I know that I didn't do a whole lot of food prep, but I just wanted to make sure that I gave you guys the heads up to go ahead and get your ferments and your sauerkraut started right away so that you can have these delicious foods over your holiday season. Thanks so much. And as always, give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel for more goodness. And then be sure to click the bell notification so that you're always getting updates when I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Happy holidays!